Hello, Bucs fans. We are back. It's live here on a Monday. Welcome to Real Bucs Talk. And it is awesome to be back here on a Monday. Obviously, not the results we're looking for as the Buccaneers lose their fourth in a row, dropping to 4-6. But I'm your host, Michael Plus, joined as always my co-host, Mark Ramirez. Mark, how are we doing tonight?
Just in time. Uh,
Just in time.
literally, right? Hey, it's another Monday after a Bucks game, and it's four in a row now. So I sent you something earlier. It's like kind of numb to the pain now. It is what it is. It's sad to see, but exciting, and then crush your dreams, right? So I think it's something we're gonna get used to, even though the next games after the bye week are so technically easy, but in the Bucks Todd Bowles era, nothing's really easy nowadays. So let's see. Let's see if they can get healthy and where they can go. I expect a lot more wins. It's not against the caliber teams that they've been playing, but still, like this game took a lot out of me. And yeah, that numb feeling is kind of getting there.
Yeah, I think you have to look at the Todd Bowles era and just kind of think of it as we've been here before, right? So, the Bucs were 4-7 last year. Now they're 4-6 this year, heading into the bye week. They have a much winnable schedule as we go into the second half of the season. There's a world where the Buccaneers could be in first place in a few weeks, where the Falcons are facing a stretch where they could easily lose their next three games and the Buccaneers win. Bucs could be 7-6 heading into that Chargers game and being in first place, which is crazy to think about, but not unexpected given the NFC South history and how it just churns. So right now, I think, there's a lot of frustration. There's a lot of fans that are up in arms, wanting Todd Bowles gone. There's all sorts of different things. People defending Todd Bowles, saying, the injuries are too much. People are blaming Jason Light, which is, out of mind, really, when I think of it. I'm like, Jason Light has done a great job with his team. And it's like, now they just want to fire him because we don't have five cornerbacks deep or four linebackers deep where the issues are. So what's your thoughts on that, just the overall, I guess, status of the fan base right now and the expectations moving forward?
I mean, let's get that going in the chat too. Like
Yeah.
everyone, give your opinion. Is the coach? Is it the players? Is it the GM? Is it just not enough talent? Is it lack thereof effort? What the hell is it? Right?
Yeah.
But like I'll say this. I'm not going to say that it's Jason Light because there's only so much you can improve a team every offseason. You can't get 53 new players every offseason. Like you just said, you can't get 5, 6 cornerbacks deep that are starting caliber.
Mm-hmm.
Keep them on a roster where they're not wanting to go somewhere else to get more playing time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, like we get accustomed to, okay, Carlton Davis was going to get hurt. Jamel Dean's going to get hurt. Someone's going to come in and help out until someone comes up, right?
Yeah.
We had Brees Hall, right? What was his name? Bryce Hall.
Who are you talking about? Bryce Hall? Yeah.
Bryce Hall got hurt.
Yep.
Season ending immediately right there last preseason game. Jamel Dean gets hurt. Yeah, we all knew that. It's always going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Zion McCollum was doing good, and then this game he shits the bed and he gets hurt now.
Yeah.
Now you're down to Funderburk as your starting corner, who's an undrafted guy, getting starting minutes. Shit, and then you get Josh Hayes out there. He actually looked better this game, even though it wasn't great. He was better. There's a lot of people he had. He was aggressive on the ball. Some quick timely passes by Purdy, but still, like the defense, yeah, it sucks to be playing with these guys. And then Winfield not playing to the stature of a top 3 money wise defensive back, not just corner or safety. It's a safety or defensive back in general. Like that sucks when your best players aren't playing like they should be. So you're handicapped in players because they hurt. Your best players aren't playing like the best right now. David is playing out of his mind. Vita Vea is always playing out of his mind. But it's like it's tough. And then offensively, Dan Cohen has no one on the outside. Baker didn't trust no one on the outside. Like literally, what was it? 28 yards went to receivers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's trying his ass off. Don't get me wrong. But there's only so much you can scheme up a a team when you don't have that many great players to throw to, and you're relying so heavily on a running game that's just up and coming, and then Kate Otten. That's about it.
Mhm.
I mean, yes, there were opportunities that were messed up. Baker has missed little easy dink and dunk passes. Kate
Yeah.
Otten dropped one that was an easy progression that could have gotten it to like what within 3 at halftime if they would have gotten another field goal. It would have been 10-6, so 4-point game. And that makes it a big difference at the end of the game, right?
Right.
But, I mean, there's areas not just defensively but offensively they're messing up. And I think you said on Twitter, Cohen is a lot better,
Yeah.
like sequencing and play call, changing things up. But there's been areas where it's like, oh, what? Why the hell, right? Like, why go to the well like that? Like wasting second down on that final drive where we could have gotten a touchdown instead of a field goal.
Yeah.
There's little things. So it's not just one. You can't point the finger at one guy. We used to like to do that a lot. And Todd Bowles is pissing me off left and right. But I mean, with what he has, he put up a fight. He keeps doing games. I want to say it's him because I've had this taste in my mouth before. I just want to get rid of it, kind of thing. But it's definitely not Jason Light. He's bringing in the talent. We just got to use it. There's no way in hell he's going to have 5 starting caliber corners. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I would just say to, sum that up and going back to the first points, you talk about cornerback. Obviously, injuries have taken their toll there, but it's not a lack of effort by Jason Light and his staff. Like they brought in Bryce Hall. He was supposed to be that third cornerback. They brought in Tavier Thomas. They brought in Tyke Smith, who's been phenomenal, but he was out yesterday. So that's a big loss there in your nickelback room. So it's not a lack of effort. Like he's brought in people to help the depth. Now they were hoping Servassier Dennis and KJ Britt could be a platoon at linebacker to help out next to Levante David. The issue is you didn't expect regression from Antoine Winfield as much as we've seen so far this year. Last year, he was outstanding. So good that he saved this defense multiple times and hid a lot of issues with this defense because of his stellar play. This year, those plays are not happening, and you're seeing the effect of that. And then we didn't expect, well, I mean, I guess we should have expected it, but Father Time has caught up with Levante David. I know it's tough to say, but he's just not making the caliber of plays.
he played really well this game, though.
He did play good, but there's also some plays out there that, again, in the past, he just hasn't been making.
Yeah.
There's been issues there. So it's been up and down for him. Not saying he hasn't been bad. It's just it's not to the level of football where, we're expecting. So, but overall, I think, defensively, it's been, a combination of injuries. It's been a combination of lack of identity, understanding what personnel you have out there, understanding certain situations in the game to get your best players on the field. There was an instant yesterday where it was 3rd and 5 and you had Anthony Nelson guarding Christian McCaffrey. That just can't happen. Like things like that can't take place. You have to have your best players on the field when it's in those situations. I don't care if the guy's tired or what have you. You got to understand the matchups and you have to do a good job in that regard. So, and then offensively, just to sum it up, there was a lot of misses yesterday by Baker Mayfield. Unfortunately, there was plays to be made that he just didn't throw the ball downfield. And that was the difference yesterday. I'll bring up the stats here. That was the main thing. You look at 116 yards passing. That could have been a lot more if Baker took some chances that were in the game, were open downfield. He just didn't pull the trigger, and that really cost him. You look at Brock Purdy, he had 353 yards because guess what? They had a lot of yards after the catch.
Mm-hmm.
They made a lot of big plays, and they took advantage of that.
Yeah, your two best or your defensive backs in Don McCollum and Winfield had multiple missed tackles.
Yeah,
it was just bad all around. It like early on, it looked pretty good. They kept them in the game. They held them to 3 a lot. Then they missed a lot of field goals. So that makes it look like it was closer. But it's like, damn, like there's just little things. Every third down, they gave up. Every damn third down. I mean, some of them, yeah, like tip your hat to Brock Purdy and the receiver. Like it was like a perfect bang bang throw. Like you said, the Anthony Nelson on Christian McCaffrey. I know it's part of the scheme, but damn, like that is a difficult ask. And then Anthony Nelson thinking he's going to cut it inside. I mean, he's 6'8", trying to guard someone that's 6 foot, almost 100 pounds higher. It's a tough ask. But
Yeah.
one thing I talked to you earlier during the week, they're asking Levante to blitz a lot more. Yeah, he used to blitz in tandem with Devin White, but that is one area where I think he's asked to do too much because Devin White's one good thing was downhill. Whether we liked it or not, he was extremely fast from point A to point B as a straight line. And those A-gap blitzes, he would annihilate all the time. KJ Britt does not have that at all. Like I saw some of the A-gap blitzes he did. There was no movement, slow to it. And then once he hit a guy, it was just a stone. Like that is an area where Devin White excelled at. And we threw it at him left and right. And that's why he was a top 5 pick because Bowles loves doing that. We just don't have the horse to do that. And we're losing a lot of inside A-gap blitz pressures because of that. And asking Levante to do that a lot more often than he should, when he should be diagnosing and helping guys out in that fashion, that's an area where Devin White was good at. There's one damn good thing he was good at. Everything else, coverage-wise, we're slacking. It's not like he would be doing better in coverage than anyone else is doing right now. But the pressure aspect is where I think we're missing. I mean, because Devin White would be blitzing, Levante would drop back. And he's a little bit better in coverage than anyone we have right now. So that's one area where there's a huge area of concern. Offensively, I saw the same things you saw with Baker Mayfield. Even just not even missing the big ones, because even if he hits the small ones, we're more in the game. Or then the one where he would have been an amazing play. The spin move, and then tries to rocket it to Miller in the corner of the end zone. Yes, maybe he's a little dizzy from the spin, but damn, he was wide open again. Just throw it through the pylon. He had to stop, and we should have gotten a flag on it, but still, we never get any flags. It's always against us, never for us.
Yeah,
so,
those plays were unfortunate. Thankfully, on that play for the Miller miss, we ended up scoring on that drive. Eventually, we did score with the Bucky Irving touchdown. So we were able to get that in our favor, but there was just, too many misses downfield that could have had explosive plays. You see it there on the screen. I mean, 3.7 yards per play isn't going to get it done. 49ers, 49ers had 6.8 yards per play. They were the same as us on third down. It's
we averaged less passing than we did rushing. Think about that.
Yeah. That's a credit to our running backs and obviously the strength of the team. But they were 5 of 11 on third down. We were 5 of 14. The difference was on those third downs for the 49ers, they got big plays, big chunk plays to move the football down the field. They got chunk plays on first and second down. Buccaneers just lost the battle in explosives, and really it shows. I mean, you look at the yardage, 413 to 215 and total yards. That's never going to win you games. And really, if the field goal kicker for the 49ers don't miss kicks, this game ends up being 32 to whatever, and we probably still end up losing the game. So it's just that's just how you have to look at it. It's unfortunate. But with that said, the Buccaneers did have an opportunity, but couldn't cash it in. And that's been the story of the season so far. I'll pull up this play real quick. I mean, there's the Bucky touchdown there. Really well executed play. This is probably one of my favorite plays of the season, but that was really cool to see. Just, Bucky having a really good game. We go back to his stats. He had 73 yards on the day. Rachaad White had another great play, but we go back to Baker missing those easy plays. Like if he hits the out route to Sterling Shepard before this amazing fourth down conversion play that he had to Rachaad White, like the Bucs don't even have to worry about it. They have a first down. They keep the chains moving. So it's just little things like that are ending up being the big issues in the side of the Buccaneers butt right now. And it's frustrating to see, unfortunately.
And I mean, Raheem Jarrett dropped 2 big passes. I mean, he dropped one before the half, which it could have been a big gainer, or we get in field goal position. He drops that one. I think he dropped one right before on that last possession, too. Like
He did. Yeah, so that was a bang play. Probably should have came down with it. It would have been close if it was a touchdown or not. But either way, it gives you the
opportunity line, and you can go for a touchdown.
Yeah, exactly. It gives you an opportunity to make that decision, to punch it in. Um, but yeah, it's unfortunate. You have the missed block by Graham Barton on the 2nd and 5 play. If he doesn't miss that block, maybe you get closer for third down or potentially score. So there's just a lot of things that are unfortunately holding this team back. It sucks to say, but that's where we are right now. You know, the main thing is this team has a big bye week, and hopefully you can get Jamel Dean and Mike Evans back. You probably get Tristan Wirfs back. He went down with an injury, so he'll probably be back within the next couple of weeks, maybe miss a game or two. Hopefully he can be back for the Giants game, but we'll see how that progresses with the MCL sprain.
I'll say this. It sucks to everyone wants to point it at the finger at someone, right?
Yeah.
Todd Bowles is always going to get probably the most because he's the head coach. Like, and it's a production-based league. I'm always one that says, like, okay, if you look at the main teams that win, it's usually consistency is what you see at the head coach. Like, look what the Bears are doing nonstop. Yeah. Like, they had Trubisky, they had Fields, they have Caleb Williams, and they're about to fire their head coach again. Like, there's no consistency there, right? And do we want to be something like that? Yeah, we've given Bowles a lot so far. This is what, year 4?
Well, this is year 3. He's going to be into year 4 next year. But
I mean, it's almost like, is he this what he is, or is it we're just trying to get over the top, right? And that's probably what his meeting was with the Glazers. So, like you said it, you're like, it's either playoffs or you're getting fired. Like, it's likely what it should be because you came into the season with high expectations. You win week 1, week 2, like boom, boom, like holy crap, this is it. And all of a sudden you start sputtering out of control. Give it injuries or whatever, what have you, but that's where coaching has to be like, okay, well, we're going to make these modifications to keep us alive until we can get to where we need to be. Mm-hmm. It's just falling apart, and it's frustrating. Yeah, and toughest schedule is out of the way, but you didn't do shit in that little tough span. And to say we just need to right the ship, but you're not doing it yet. You're having the same mistakes every game almost. Self-inflicted stuff, and then near the end when you can win the game, you don't go for it, or you just terrible execution. So and then your defense couldn't hold them for 40 seconds. For 40 seconds to get to your overtime, you couldn't do it. But I mean, and you can see the frustration of all the players and Levante and Cansey. Mm-hmm. We didn't do it. It's our job to stop it, and we didn't do it. So, and it's a lot more than just the one corner, like we said with Winfield not playing well. McCollum sucked ass this game. Yeah. I mean, he's been playing well, and then he's just, I don't know what the hell happened. They play back almost on every third down. McCollum not understanding where the hell the first down marker is, just giving it up. So, I mean, there was frustrating things. And, yes, the middle linebacker, Britt, Russell, it's like no one knows how to cover when it comes to that. So, if you want to blame Light for that, maybe. I mean, because there's guys there. I mean, what can be worse, right? That's what the big thing is. What can be worse than what we have right now? But then you always say, it takes guys like 7 years to learn this defense. So clearly everyone's worse. So, and defensively, let's get healthy and get Dean back. I think that'll make a big difference. But that middle linebacker area is always going to be the same, I think, moving forward until there's an improvement and an upgrade. But that's not going to be until next year.
I think we talked about it. Obviously, I think the goals right now is to get healthy. You're going to have majority of your team back after this bye week. Besides the guys that are clearly on injury reserve, you're going to have mostly everyone back on defense, on offense, and you should be ready to go. Like, there has to be a simplification on defense for sure. They have to understand, okay, this is how we're going to play. We are really going to focus on tackling because that is the big issue right now. And I want to see guys flying to the football. We haven't seen that. It's usually one guy's coming to the football, and then there's like a 15-second period where you have to wait for another person to come in and make the play or tackle. So these guys really need to get back to running to the football. I want to see that. I want to see us start just coming downhill. Like, let your defensive line come downhill and try to disrupt things. I know that was an issue when Gerald McCoy was here, but I want to see guys just continue to shoot gaps. Like, you need to focus on getting tackles for loss and try to benefit any way you can to make third down easier for you, because right now it's not working, and they have to figure out a way to eliminate the big plays and find ways to make things simple for you on defense. That's got to be a big thing. And then offensively, I think it's just, again, like we talk about, Baker's doing a great job of protecting the football right now over the last 2 weeks. That has to continue, but I think he needs to find a balance where he can still remain aggressive, but aggressive when it's there, right? Being aggressive to take shots downfield. Don't be afraid of making a mistake just to avoid it. Play within yourself, play within the offense, and let it fly.
I mean, so I want to touch on your points, but I want to answer a lot of these questions that are coming
Sure.
in.
Yeah, appreciate everyone in the chat.
So I'm gonna start with the most recent and work my way up. But Jeremy Lowe just got in. He said, "Sorry, I'm late. Not getting Tucker some touches sucks." I 100% agree with that because we're always talking players over plays with Cohen, right?
Mm-hmm.
My thing is, everyone's like, "Oh, why was Irving not in there? He should be in there over White." They both should be in the damn game, especially since you're not throwing to the receivers at all. Clearly, you gave it up. Irving's your best player, clearly. When you see him out there, he's statistically your best player and visually your best player. So he should be out there every snap. So should Rachaad White, because he gives you pass blocking ability better than anyone else on the team. He can catch the ball better than anyone else, receiver-wise, I think. So they both should be there in some fashion or form. If Mike Evans and Chris Godwin aren't on the field, your two best players after that are them two. And then have a running competition of whoever has the best with Sean Tucker and Rachaad White. And Irving can be used any which way. Rachaad White's another damn receiver you can use. So that needs to be implemented because every time they're both on the field, something good happens. So give your take on that, then I'll find another question.
Yeah, Sean Tucker, I mean, yeah, I think that's something they have to look at the bye week, and that's probably the biggest adjustment for the offense in general, to add to this dynamic rushing attack that they do have. I always love the impression that Sean Tucker would be the guy if we have some sort of lead and he could really just wear out a defense because of his speed and give you that big play ability, because teams are not going to be used to that after facing Bucky and Rashad and their ability to make you miss. And I think Sean Tucker gives you that element where he kind of has that power, but he also has the speed behind it to really, get to the outside or make things happen, and really make a difference. And he can give you those big play opportunities. So I'm hoping he's going to be more involved moving forward, whether it's some type of where they get them all three on the field at the same time, do some type of screen plays to him, get him the football maybe early, and then later on in the second half where you can wear out a defense and take control of the game.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he needs to be involved.
Yeah,
he's one of your better offensive weapons right now, like a consistent guy. Like he hasn't really made any mistake this season, I don't think. Right. And every time he touches the ball, something good happens. So you got to get those guys on the field. That's a misuse of player management and how they say, like in the bye week, we're going to do some self-scouting. That is a big one. Why is a guy that had like a player of the week of the year of the league against the Saints? Why is he not on the field? Like that makes no sense to me. So that is an obvious thing they need to fix.
Yeah.
I guess Brutal's Bucs was up here saying Greg Altman had an interesting analysis comparing Bucs and Ravens. Bucs and Ravens both have top offenses, bottom defenses, but the Ravens are 5-1. Bucs are 1-5.
Yeah.
So
I think that just goes into how I think better coached the Ravens are. I mean, obviously John Harbaugh, but also just the quarterback play is more consistent with Lamar Jackson. They have an identity on both sides of the ball. I think it comes down to they're just making key plays at the right time, especially late in the game, and they're finding ways to win instead of the Buccaneers where we're finding ways to lose the game. So that's where it comes into play, as the different records. I mean, Baltimore, they're finding ways. Like they're getting the lead early and often, and they're basically their defense, yes, bad as far as yards given up, but they're they're finding ways to either get a key score or a key stop at the right time. They're getting turnovers at the right time, or something's going on there where they're just fighting the winning edge, and the Buccaneers sadly are not doing that right now.
I mean, I also you got to give credit. So Mar Jackson's a lot better runner than Baker Mayfield is.
Oh
So
yeah, for sure.
down, he can make something out of nothing. They're also getting. They're nowhere near as injury riddled as weapons as we are. I mean, it's like if they lost Derrick Henry and Zay Flowers, both gone.
Yeah,
I mean, he has both of them there, right?
Yeah, they have their number one guys.
So it's a big ass difference that way as well. Defensively, yeah, if your quarterback who was league MVP last year can move around and get you staying in games nonstop, yeah, clearly you're going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
But like their offense is humming right now, and there's a big reason because they've got the best running back in the game with the best running quarterback in the game. That's pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like their offense can keep up with the defensive insufficiencies. We just can't.
Yeah,
especially with the injuries we're dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my take. But like I talked to you about this probably a week ago about how I kind of compared this year's defense and just injuries and in its total is like how John Harbaugh dealt with. I think it was what in 2021 where they were under 500 and they didn't do well, didn't make playoffs. And I guess when they drafted Kyle Hamilton, and then now they've just been nothing but playoff contenders, Super Bowl contenders every year. So I mean, that can tell a story if you're that hurt all year, especially your top stars. I mean, it sucks. So like it does suck for Bowles, but it's like, is this what we are? Or because we are in games, we're in every damn game. Let's be honest about that. Usually, because Farouk Kawab said it the best. He's like, from the years of Greg Schiano and Dirk Cutter that trained us for the times like these, I feel nothing after those years.
Yeah,
it's not like those games where we're getting blown out by halftime and you're walking home and you're just, why the hell did I pay for that ticket? Right. So it's not like that. We're always in games and it's frustrating. We're just losing this way. Is it the Mike Tomlin where we're always going to be there, always going to be there in the game? Or is it something we need to move on from?
Right.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt it's frustrating. But I think, like you said, they are competing. They are in the ball game. They're just not making the plays to win said games. And that's where it gets frustrating because this is a good roster. Like you have good players that you can work with. You can make things happen. You can tweak and scheme a little bit better here and there. It's just, can we get these guys to start executing at a consistent level? Right now, it's just not happening. Yes, that is injuries, because anytime you lose Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, you lose Jamel Dean, you lose, you lose starters on that side of the football. It hurts. You lose Servassier Dennis for the rest of the season. Those are big impacts to the defense. And when you have the inconsistencies you do up front, as far as rushing the passer, as far as, winning with the blitz, like you said, the linebacker blitz is just not there like it was in the past. And, that plays a huge factor. But like we talked about before, we talked about it on the last live stream, and I'll pull it up here. This is where the Bucs have hope. And this is where they have hope right here because of the schedule. The next 3 games, New York, Carolina, and Vegas, those should be automatic wins. I don't care who you are. You got to find a way to win those games. I don't care if it's by 1 point or whatever. It's got to be wins. So you have an opportunity to be 7-6 heading into this Los Angeles matchup, which is probably the toughest game remaining on your schedule. And you could be in first place by that time, which is crazy to think about.
Oh.
So, I mean, there's a great opportunity ahead of us because you look at all these games remaining, Buccaneers should win at least 6 of them. That puts you at 10-7. And I looked at the Falcons. If the Falcons lose the games, I think they will. They finish the year at 9-8. Buccaneers win the division at that point. So it's just crazy to think about. And this has also been pointed out that This is what Todd Bowles does. He just keeps finding ways to get another year. And it makes us forget about all the bad that has happened so far in the season. But this was a really tough stretch looking at the top half of the schedule. I mean, Baltimore, Atlanta, Kansas City, San Francisco. A lot of people predicted us to be where we are right now, and that's 4-6 heading into the bye week.
Yeah, but they expect us to win games that we didn't win at all. So they expect us to lose all the ones that we did win. It's almost
right.
Funny.
Yep.
Right? Like we beat Washington, Detroit, and the Eagles, and they're like three of the best teams in the league right now. Three of the hottest, if not the best, right now. I mean, Kansas City's going to get every flag known to man, so they're crowned already. And the Ravens are getting it too. You see the damn Bengals game? That was just ass, is what that was.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll keep moving on. I'm surprised he didn't get so pissed during our game with the flags and Taylor's false start. That was a false start. But I mean, if they lose any of these games,
yeah,
I'd be like, okay, well, Todd Bowles, give me your pitch during the bye week. Well, here's my answer. Don't lose a game or you're getting fired. I mean, to be honest, you have one difficult game. I mean, Dak, I think, is putting them up till next year.
Yeah.
The Saints already fired their coach. They're just riding high of new blood as a head coach. Carolina, okay, cool. That Dave Canales winning some games. Ooh.
Yeah.
Come on. Like, if you can't win this schedule, then sorry. Like, that's almost how it is to me right now. That's how numb I am to like, oh, but maybe. No. If you're a good coach, you can coach them up to win the rest of these games. I don't give a shit that it's in the Chargers, at the Chargers. You're playing for the rest of your season. Yeah. Like, you guys better get up, get pissed, and put some points up and stop the other team from scoring and win by one, like you were saying. Find ways to win games, not lose them, because that's what the Ravens are doing again. The close games are winning. They're not losing them.
Yeah. I mean, my thing is you're going to be pretty much 100% healthy going into that Giants game. You're going to have pretty much everyone back for that week. You're going to have your starting corners. You're going to have Mike Evans back, which is going to be a big deal. You should be able to find ways to win these games. And if we are pretty much healthy and we lose one of these games, then I think that's safe to say that it's it for Todd Bowles. Like, there's really no more excuses after this bye week, given the fact that you will have your full personnel on board with guys getting experience now. So your depth should be better with Josh Hayes and Funderburk learning to analyze how they've been doing so far and taking this time to learn from their mistakes. Yes, the linebackers is always going to be an issue, unfortunately. We'll see if they make a move there. There was a guy that was cut today from the Seahawks that I would like for them to put in a waiver claim. They have the money to do so, be very cheap option. So will they do that to try to improve the team? We shall see. I mean, if anything, just have the guy blitz. That's not hard to do, just keep it simple. And I think that's what they have to get back to. That's what they did with Devin White. They just let him go forward and hope for the best. And I think that's what you got to do this time around, and use your dime packages. We saw that against the Chiefs. Hopefully we see that more going forward with everyone healthy and good to go. So yeah, it's no excuses after this bye week for Todd Bowles. And if they do fumble, if by somehow I'm going to be at that Carolina Panthers game in Charlotte, if they lose that game, I'm going to be the first one calling for Todd Bowles' head. Like, I'll come back on the live stream and I'll be like, sorry, buddy. Time to go. Time to make a change. And I think both of us can agree. I think there needs to be an open search. I wouldn't automatically hand the job over to Liam Cohen. I don't want him to leave, but I think you still have to make a search and interview guys and make sure he is the best fit for the job.
No, I agree with that. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to get to that point yet. Yes, I'm numb right now, but season's not over. Glazer's not going to make a rash decision. But one thing that does piss me off, that like everyone's saying, I'm tired of the communication issues and closing out games. Thing is, you got Jordan Whitehead back to help with that communication issue. So Winfield, okay, he got hurt early.
Yeah,
he's playing hurt now. Okay, but still, you're around the ball to make plays. You're not making it. Those are the two best communicators we have.
Mhm.
And last year, we made modifications to fix the middle linebacker area where was a liability in Devin White, and
Yep.
Britt was in there too. And we're still going toe to toe with these good teams in the playoffs, right?
Yep. Yep.
So, what is the going on? Like, what
Mhm.
is the communication issue? I mean, yeah, your corner right now is hurt. Josh Hayes played better, like I said. Why
Mhm.
is McCollum playing worse?
Yeah.
Like, how is it always that there's something? And then your best nickel corner, who's a rookie, phenomenal rookie, concussion, now it was hamstring, and then
Yeah.
the late in the week injuries. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
Every
Teammate. Yeah. So what happened is a teammate banged his knee into his knee. His knee swelled up and obviously couldn't go for the game. So it's like these little things that keep happening that it's got to stop. And I think that is something everybody's got to look into the mirror during this bye week and figure things out. Like Jordan Whitehead and Antoine Winfield, they should be steady players for you every week. Like those guys should be consistent. Levante David, same thing. Vita Vea, MVP so far for the defense. I think that's automatic. Like he's been outstanding this year. I think he's earned every penny of his contract. Really proud of him. I hope he continues to get more snaps down the road. I think Kalijah Cansey is going to continue to get stronger as he gets more comfortable coming back from his injury. So hopefully those guys come along. Yaya Diaby and JTS, I would love for them to rush more, get after the quarterback. We drop them too much back into coverage. I would like to see them be more aggressive in an attack. I think they have been good when rushing with four. I would like to see that continue. Um, and hopefully the rest of the guys that do come in on substitution get better as well.
yeah, because he's been doing just a four-man rush more
Mhm.
recently.
Yeah.
And I would like you were saying, just stick to a simple game plan because third
Mhm.
downs, that's not working. You got to give some heat on this. Like
Yeah.
it's just not working. And
Yeah.
I'm hoping,
Better. It was better yesterday. The problem was, like we talked about, it's the big plays that they're allowing.
yeah,
That
and
was the hurt thing. Yep.
missed tackles.
Yeah.
Those are the two bigger ones. So
Yep.
it's an issue that needs to be fixed. And yeah, self scout. This is their time to do it. Think about why the hell you've been messing up and fix it. That's
Mhm.
another reason why 49ers had 2 weeks to prepare for us. It's a shitty situation. Bowles was on a short week trying to beat a team that was on a bye. It does suck. Again, it was at home. Doesn't matter. You need it before your bye. You didn't get it. They were more healthy and everything, ready to go, but your efforts came up short yet again. So it is frustrating, but if to have Dean McCollum and have Tyke Smith all healthy, I think your secondary will be a lot better and a lot more consistent that way. And you've made the point, Dean's a way better run defender than any corner we have right now.
Mhm.
So that would help even more with that situation. I think
Yep.
if that DB, if you have those four guys together healthy, that will hide a lot more of what is your middle linebacker that's an issue. And you can
Mhm.
play more aggressive and better communication. So scratch and claw to get healthy, and let's see what it looks like. Offensively, yeah, if you get Mike Evans back, the whole playbook opens up. Baker's more confident who he's throwing to. And hopefully Cohen's like, okay, let me just get these two running backs on the field more because clearly
Yeah.
they work. It took away my only pass option in Kate Otten. I need to
Mhm.
find a different way to get White and Irving on the ball on the field at the same time, and then work my way to get Sean Tucker in there too to literally annihilate them in the second half because it
Mhm.
worked before, it can work again. Find a way to get them on the field.
Yeah, I like the progression of how they're utilizing as far as the skill players. I think once Mike Evans gets back, that's going to help the totem pole. You can say with K Dot being that secondary option, he will get more open because Mike will take that attention away, and then it opens things up for like Sterling Shepard, who I think can be a good third option to go to. Um, Hopefully Jalen McMillan can step up. He's another one that's been frustrating with the injuries. Hopefully he can get healthy and start contributing, being more consistent. Trey Palmer, another guy, I would like to see them get more involved. So with Mike coming back, obviously that should generate more consistency for the offensive side of the ball. Hopefully get more big plays downfield, and that can open things up to score and put up at least 24 points per game, because I think if we can do that, especially against the teams we're going to play in the second half, it should lead to a 6-1 record, and that's no joke. Like that should what it can come down to, and that's what should happen. But we shall see.
Yeah. I'll put up King Cook's.
Mm-hmm.
Can't keep blaming injuries. Nobody's screaming injuries when talking about the Chiefs, Bills, and other contenders. Chiefs get every flag known to man, and they also signed DeAndre Hopkins. They have a Hall of Famer and Travis Kelce in the middle. They got a running game. They've got a lot of good defense. Yes, there's corners are a lot very much injured, but again, you have a Hall of Famer in the middle of your defense as well. They're a really well coached team. That's the bigger thing. Like they're really well coached. Todd Bowles coaches good at times, but then just lapses. Doesn't know how to use timeouts well. When it's a big heat pressure cooker situation, should I go? Should I not? He's not really making the smartest decision at times. So that is an area where coaching we don't have it, and a lot of those great teams have good coaches. Bills, Chiefs, long tenure coaches. Ravens, long tenure coach. So that's one area where I'm like, maybe we do need to just hold on and just keep it together. But then again, is it truly the guy you need? Because he clearly just funneling them left and right, new coach does not work. And you got to have some consistency, and they haven't given up on him, right? That's one thing he does do. He keeps them fighting, but you're a defensive coach. That should be the strong suit. You're not doing that. And I think I've started be talking off my ass, but someone made the point of like Belichick's last year at the Patriots. He's like, the defense is still good. Offense couldn't score to save their life, and that was an issue. But there's also lack of personnel. He was the GM; it's his fault too. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, just based on what you just said right there, it's inconsistent coaching, and guess what? We have an inconsistent team, and that's what Todd Bowles is, unfortunately, and that's why I've talked about this on this show before. I don't have a lot of faith in Todd Bowles as a head coach. I think he's a solid defensive coordinator when that's all he has to do and worry about. But it's different when you're a head coach, because you have to make the right decisions at the right time. You have to understand when to use timeouts. You have to understand, okay, let's go for the win here, because we're not going to win this game in overtime. Let's be aggressive. Understand that you don't have to take timeouts into the second half. Like, you need to use those to try to put up points. You have to maximize your opportunities. And that's something where I think he falls short. Understanding when to blitz and not to blitz, understanding how your team is playing and when to make adjustments. Those are the things where it has to be a lot better moving forward. And sure, lack of talent or personnel with injuries does play a factor, but you don't see these other teams that do have consistent coaching. They find ways to win. Like, they just continue to find ways. And that is something that is missing right now for this team.
Yeah, the name of the game is find ways to win, not find ways to stay in the game.
Right.
So, but what sucks is like it's both sides of the ball.
Oh yeah, it's total combination. But he's the head coach, and you're control of all sides of your team, like from special teams, offense, and defense. Like, okay, your special teams made a nice play yesterday. You got a fumble recovery, cool. But it's like that has to be consistent. Not giving up returns. Defensively, offensively, understanding situational football at all times. That has to be that falls on Todd Bowles. Like, because he is the head coach.
And then, yes. So one area, like you're saying, knowing the time and part of the game. So we get the ball back. We're up 17-13. We go the fastest 3 and out. It's like almost, I knew it was going to happen. I'm like, we got to do something with it. At least take some time off the clock.
Right.
And it's like, really? I know the other team's good too. They're a good team. Don't get me wrong. But the lack of trust with wide receivers was a mess with Baker. Just kept staring down Kate Otten. If it wasn't there, just go to the running back. Yeah, it works at times, but like you said, at certain times of the game, you got to make a ballsy move, and
Mm.
they just don't do it. They're not doing it consistently, and things that good teams do to win games, they're not doing it.
Right. Yeah, I'm pulling up. Let me pull this up on the screen real quick just to show what we're talking about. But yeah, here's the 3-and-out right here. So yeah, 1st and 10 doesn't start well. You lose 2 yards, to Bucky Irving. I think that was the play where they had Rashad White and Bucky in the backfield at the same time. They motioned Bucky around to the right. It was supposed to be a handoff to Rashad. Unfortunately, there was a fumble at the exchange that hurt you. Baker tried to throw it to Bucky. He ends up dropping it. I thought it was like going to be incomplete, but the ball was behind the line of scrimmage, so they count that as a fumble. Thankfully, he recovered. So then you have a pass for 6 yards to Raheem Jarrett. You have a 3rd and 6, and this was another one where Baker missed it. Like Shepard does a good enough job to win his route. Baker's got to put it on him. He doesn't, ends up incomplete, and you have to punt. So, and then of course, the next drive, the
Touchdown.
49ers go right down the field, and you can just see the explosive plays. I mean, 30 yards from Christian McCaffrey on the deep play against Levante David. And then this penalty, that was bogus. It should have been 3rd and 10. The penalty on Cansey, it was not a roughing the passer, unnecessary roughness. But of course, any hit on the quarterback, they're going to call it.
Did you hear his comments after the game? What Yancey said?
Oh yeah, he let up.
He let up, and then
Yeah,
ran into him. He's like, he hit
right.
me more than I hit him.
Yep. Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And then the second down and 10 at the 11. Now it should have been 3rd down already with this incomplete pass, but this play here, I mean, Purdy did have a lot of time, and you just can't let Kittle make that play. Josh Hayes has to go after the football. Just didn't happen. And again, great player makes a great play. And then right after that, we have another 3-and-out though. We get 1 yard, and then a fumble on a bad snap or quick snap, and then 3rd and 13, you're going to get sacked. So, yep.
Wolf.
Yep.
You're up. You went from 17-13, you're up, to now you're down 20-17, and you wasted 2 possessions.
Yep.
Just waste. How much time was taken off too on those 2 possessions?
Not a
maybe
bunch.
a minute 30, 2 minutes in total.
Let's see.
Oh,
it says 2 minutes on here, 2:05, and then on the one above that, 1 minute and 33 seconds. So not a lot of time. And then what's crazy on the tying field goal drive, it was basically all flags by the 49ers. Yep. We didn't have a lot of big plays. And that was just the story of the game. Let's see. When we get into
don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
That was a phenomenal effort.
Yeah.
Was going to Rashad White? I'm not 100% sure, but he got it. Looked like Shepard breaking open.
Yeah, Rashad made a hell of a play. It was a great catch. But I mean, here's the series, and I mentioned this in one of the group chats I'm in. You had the 1st and goal at the 8, which I thought was the right call. You get a nice 3-yard gain. Okay, you're at 2nd and goal and 5 at the 5. I thought Cohen was setting this up all game. I thought he was going to call the spider 2Y banana play because he had O'Keefe in the backfield throughout this game at fullback. And I thought, okay, this is the perfect time to call that. Unfortunately, they don't. They had a good run set up. If Graham Barton gets his block, he just misses it and obviously destroys the play. And then the incomplete pass to Jarrett. So it's just unfortunate. But I really thought the spider 2Y banana was coming there. I thought it would have been a perfect time for it.
I mean, and that's what we talk about, like going for the kill when you need to. Yep. And because maybe from the game prior, because everyone's bitching questions. Oh, should you have wasted more clock? Should you not have given Mahomes time before the end of the quarter? Because of that, is that do they hear ghosts or whispers in their head? We should waste more time because of this. Yep. No, you know what the hell you had to do. You would have gone up, 4 if you do that? Or
you would have forced them to have to score a touchdown to win. Yeah.
So Yes,
Yeah.
I do that with 50 seconds left. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
But come on, you got to go for the damn touchdown. Like
Mhm.
2nd and 5.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like that's frustrating shit. Like it is what it is.
Mhm. Yeah, it's unfortunate. And I understand why they ran it. I mean, again, the running game was your best part of the offense yesterday. It was working. It just unfortunate that one play pushed you back and
But
forced you into a tough situation.
there's no motion or anything on that play. I don't think it was just a set up and I think there was
No, there was motion by Shepard. Shepard came from the left. He went to the right to set up a trips to that situation. They handed off to Rashad, and unfortunately, already had the guy in the backfield.
yeah,
Um,
immediate win. That
yeah,
was,
so
but
it's just
I'm saying
one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things.
I was just gonna say, like, if you're that close to the line and you want a diversion, like, give me a motion at the snap, not like let me just motion them over to see what it
Right.
is. Like, because you had nothing going for you besides the running game.
Yeah.
You had to rely on flags this whole drive. So I
Mm,
mean, you can't go to the well too many times, and that's what Brady said over and over, pretty
mhm.
much in this telecast. But
Yeah.
I mean, uh,
Yeah. It's unfortunate, and but that's the part of the learning experience, and I have a lot of faith that Cohen is going to learn from these. I think he continues to learn, continues to grow as a play caller. I thought he did a good job yesterday adjusting when Cade Otton got taken out of the game in the second half because they adjusted. They found ways to take him out pretty much. But he started going to the run game more in the second half and then utilizing more of those short option plays for Baker to get the ball out. I thought that was good, but we'll see. I mean, like we said, the bottom line is this team is going to be healthy in the second half. Let's see if they can make the most of it.
yeah, but that's the thing though. Like, good coaches make up for their deficiencies,
Mhm.
for the players' deficiencies. But let's see. We're gonna see where they're at. In my opinion, this is me because this is where I'm at with Bulls right now.
Mhm.
Win out or you're getting fired.
Yeah,
I
I
mean, it's
mean
a full
it's
tail task, but it
yeah.
is what it is.
Yep. Yeah. It's playoffs, or most likely you're probably discussing, looking for a new coach. That's what it's going to come down to. But hope you guys enjoyed this. Hey, be sure to hit that like button. We appreciate every single one of you guys that are in here checking us out on Twitter, checking us out here on YouTube. Subscribe if you're new here. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, we appreciate all the support. Again, we apologize there hasn't been as much content as we would like. Trust me, we want to put more out there for you guys. I'm going to try to get committed here and get you guys more content moving forward. But right now, you can expect us being live, throughout the rest of the season. We're going to try to make that, excuse me, we're going to try to make that happen for you all, and it should be a lot of fun. But hope you guys enjoyed the live stream. Again, thank you so much for joining us. And with that said, go Bucks, and we'll see you on the next one.
Woo!